Is card counting something that only geniuses with photographic memories can master, or with a little practice can anyone do it? By the end of this video, you'll have a realistic understanding of how difficult card counting really is and find out if it's a good fit for you. When you start researching card counting, it can be a bit confusing because there are kind of these two extreme camps. The first camp is the card counting is basically impossible or only for a very, very select few. I've had some people tell me that they feel like I'm making card counting sound like it's easy money or too easy. But to be honest, from where I was coming from, relatively speaking, card counting did feel like easy money. At the time I got into card counting, I was waiting tables making between 10 and 20 bucks an hour. And then I was substitute teaching, making less than $100 a day. And I spent a lot of time practicing. But when I got into card counting, before long, within maybe 6 months, I was making over $100 an hour. And not too long after that, within a year, I was making about $400 an hour. And I went on to personally win over 600,000 and run teams that won close to $4 million. So it felt easy compared to the other options that I had. The reality is card counting isn't only for MIT whiz kids. In my years running teams and through Blackjack Apprenticeship, I've trained electricians and housewives and fast food workers and writers to become successful professional card counters. So it's not just for geniuses. The problem is that's only one side of the story. So then there's the other camp, which I call the get rich quick camp. And this is someone that hears about card counting, spends some time practicing, learns about 90% of basic strategy and gets okay at counting, and then goes to a casino and starts doing it. And the reality is that person is going to lose money. If you don't learn to be 100% perfect at card counting, you will not make it. You will lose money. And this goes back to the very inception of card counting. Ed Thorpe, who wrote the book Beat the Dealer, it was a bestseller when it came out. Everybody and their mom bought the book, read it, thought that they were going to become a card counter, went to the casinos without perfect skills, and 99% of people walked out of casinos losers as card counters. So here's the deal. Card counting isn't only for geniuses and MIT kids, but it's something that takes a lot more practice than most people think. It takes 100 to 200 hours of practice to even start to be a winning player. Be cautious of people that say it's going to be any easier than that. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to sell card counting as a get-rich-quick scheme, and it's not. It really takes dedicated practice until you're perfect. The reason it felt like easy money to me is because compared to becoming a doctor or an engineer or computer programmer, any of the other things I was considering at the time, card counting seemed like a piece of cake to spend a couple hundred hours practicing to be able to make the kind of money that I was able to make. But it does take a lot of dedicated practice. In my experience of training players for the church team that I ran or through Blackjack Apprenticeship, a lot of people overestimate their skills. Running the church team, we had about 40 players come through our team, and we had one person ever show up to his first test out and ace it. Everyone else still had some flaws in their game, and they had worked really hard on their game. So don't overestimate your own skills, sell yourself short, and end up costing yourselves money at card counting that really should be a venture for making money. Okay, so here's some advice if you want to take card counting seriously. Honestly, card counting isn't any different than any other skill that you need to master with precision. So imagine you want to become a pilot. Maybe you see the Blue Angels and you think, I want to do that. Well, there are three things that you're going to need. You're going to need information, training, and ongoing resources. So the first thing you're going to need is the right information. You got to learn what all the dials are in the cockpit and all the levers and gears and whatnot. Secondly, you're going to need training. You're not just going to watch YouTube videos and read a book and then go try to fly a plane. That's suicide. You're going to need training, maybe in a flight simulator. You probably need an instructor just to make sure you know what you're doing and that you've trained yourself to be able to be safe flying that airplane. Finally, you're going to need ongoing resources. You're going to need mechanics and technicians and air traffic control, whatever it is, so that you can continue to do this job of flying planes in a safe and effective manner. Well, it's the same with card counting. You're going to need information, training, and ongoing resources. So videos and books can be great for information, assuming it's the right information you're getting, but then you're also going to need training. Someone recently shared with me the quote, "Repetition is the mother of all skill." So you're going to need training resources that can coach you to be playing perfectly, hand after hand, card after card, until you can do it effectively without any correction. Finally, card counters need ongoing resources. That's going to be intel, it's going to be betting software, and community, both to ask questions to, and in my experience, just because it can become a bit of a lonely grind out there if you're just out there on your own. It always breaks my heart when I talk to someone who read about card counting, practiced just enough to have a false confidence, and then went into the casino before they were ready, and now they're contacting me because they lost all their money. They're trying to fly the plane before they really had trained themselves how. So how difficult is card counting? Well, the good news is it can be done, but it takes dedicated practice. You have to master it. It's not something you're going to learn in a weekend, and the worst thing you could do is just head out to the casino before you're ready. You can subscribe below if you want more updates from Blackjack Apprenticeship on our YouTube channel with tips, training, and information to beat the casinos at Blackjack.